Hello, and welcome back to Everything Travel and Health. Thanks for coming back. We really appreciate your support on this channel. To my awesome subscribers, I am immensely grateful. Thanks for supporting what I do, and I will continue to improve and give you good content. To my numerous viewers who are yet to subscribe, I am counting on you to kindly subscribe to this channel as we strive to give you more helpful content like this. Several of my viewers have reached out to me about how they have tried to secure jobs, but some have not been successful at it. While some have gotten interview invitations and have attended interviews, others have not even received any replies from prospective employers. Of course, it is no secret that it could be difficult to get a job with visa sponsorship while residing outside Canada. But one thing you must note is that it is very possible. Several foreign workers are immigrating to Canada on a regular basis, irrespective of the difficulty involved. Notwithstanding, in this video, I wish to discuss with you one of the easiest ways through which most foreign workers are immigrating to Canada, getting jobs, and working. Although the purpose of this visa is not to immigrate to Canada on a permanent basis, you can use it to immigrate temporarily and then work on your permanent stay while there. There are lots of testimonies about how people have immigrated with this visa to Canada and succeeded in staying permanently. Your story can be the same as theirs, or even better. So, stay with me in this video as I explain to you what this visa is and how you can take advantage of it to immigrate to Canada. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe and turn on your notification so that you can be notified of my new uploads. Now, let's get into the subject. The visa I will be discussing is the visitor's visa, which is also known as a temporary resident visa, TRV, or tourist visa. In this video, I will be discussing how you can immigrate to Canada with a visitor's visa, get jobs, and convert your visa into a work permit visa. Ensure you watch this video to the end to understand all you need to be able to immigrate to Canada through this route. I will be letting you know the nitty-gritty of the process and how you can take advantage of it in your favor. I am very sure that a lot of you watching this video have heard about this visa before, but not many know how easy it is to use it to immigrate to Canada. A visitor visa is an official document citizens from visa-required countries need to get to travel to and enter Canada as a visitor for up to 6 months. The visitor's visa shows that you meet the requirements to enter Canada. It gives you temporary legal status to live or travel anywhere you want in Canada. Most travelers need a visitor's visa to travel to Canada. You may also need one if you're transiting through a Canadian airport on your way to your final destination. However, it is important to note that the validity period of a visitor's visa can be extended beyond 6 months if you meet certain conditions. There are 2 types of visitor visas. They are the single entry and multiple entry visitors visas. Single entry visas allow you to enter Canada only once, while multiple entry visas allow you to enter Canada multiple times during the visa's validity period. There are a lot of misconceptions about the visitor's visa, which seems to deter a lot of prospective immigrants from utilizing the opportunity it presents. I will be talking about some of them here. For example, some people believe that you must have a family member or relative in Canada before you can apply for a visitor's visa, but that is not true. You do not even need to have a program to attend or anyone to visit there to be able to get a visitor's visa. If you have a family member or relative who can invite you to visit, that is fine, but if you do not, then there is also no need to worry. You can apply for a visitor's visa for the sole purpose of tourism. Tourism is one major reason a lot of people travel to various countries. Your ability to provide the necessary documents and substantiate your claim is what will determine your success. I will be showing you how you can meet the requirements for this visa and providing you with the various secrets and tips that have helped a lot of people like you secure this visa and immigrate to Canada. There are certain conditions that you must meet to be able to qualify for a visitor's visa, and I will take a look at them shortly. With a visitor's visa, you are not permitted to work in Canada or stay longer than 6 months, unless you apply for an extension. Although a visitor's visa permits a holder to stay in Canada for 6 months, it is possible for you to convert a visitor's visa into a work permit visa within this period of stay. With a work permit visa, you will be able to work in Canada, and after working for about a year, you can apply to become a permanent resident. The work permit visa guarantees your stay beyond 6 months, and the PR guarantees your permanent stay. One interesting thing a visitor's visa does for you is that it gives you ample opportunity to visit Canada, explore all the opportunities that are inherent there, and experience them firsthand. With a visitor's visa, you can easily get jobs that would have been difficult to get if you applied from outside Canada. So, how are people making use of this opportunity and getting to stay longer than the supposed 6 months duration of a visitor's visa? Firstly, with a visitor's visa, you can enter Canada and stay wherever you wish. You are not limited to any province or city with this visa. To be able to stay in Canada longer than the 6-month duration that this visa confers, you must be able to get a job. When you get a job, you will be issued a job offer. Depending on the type of job, some jobs require a Labor Market Impact Assessment (LMIA) report to be able to apply for a work permit visa, but others do not. So, if you get a job offer and an LMIA, then you can apply for a work permit visa. This will be granted to you irrespective of your current visitor's visa status. However, there has been a recent update to the visitor's visa. With the new update, visitors to Canada are now allowed to work there under certain conditions. While a visitor's visa is not meant to be used as a work permit, visitors are not prohibited from searching for work while in Canada. So, this gives you the opportunity to get a job and prolong your stay. In fact, Canadian employers often prefer to meet candidates in person before they hire them. So, searching for work inside Canada is more effective than trying to find a job overseas. A lot of employers are more comfortable employing prospective workers who are currently residing in Canada, whether temporarily or not, than those who are outside. So, if you wish to immigrate to Canada through this route, then you must be ready to get a job within the 6 months you have. The next question is how easy it is to land a job within the time limit. It is important that you know that there is high competition for jobs in most large provinces and cities in Canada. However, there are certain provinces and cities that have fewer people visiting or immigrating, and as a result, it is easier to secure a job in those provinces. For example, it will be more difficult to get a job in Ontario, Toronto, or even Alberta than it is in Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, Prince Edward Island, or New Brunswick. So, if you wish to get a job within a short period of time, it will be advisable to go to one of these less populated provinces, where most Canadians are unwilling to live. Even in these provinces, there are also some more remote places where there is a higher chance of getting a job than others. Hence, you must do thorough research on these provinces and identify them before you make your move. Another important factor you must consider to be able to get a job easily is the type of job you desire. My experience has revealed that it is easier to get unskilled jobs and some skilled jobs than most professional jobs. However, an exception to this is work in the health sector. We all know that there is a high shortage of manpower in the health sector. As a result of this, health jobs are very easy to get in Canada. So, if you work in the health sector, you have a very great chance of landing a job within a few weeks or even days of entering Canada. However, if you work in a field that is outside the health sector, then it is important to know that it might be difficult to land a job that exactly relates to your profession or field. This implies that you must be willing to settle for a job that might not be as savvy as your course of study or your skill set. Keep in mind that the sole aim of this is to be able to continue to stay in Canada even if your visitor's visa expires. Some of the jobs that are easy to get in Canada while on a visitor's visa include farm work, cleaning jobs, caregiver jobs, factory workers, driving jobs, hotel jobs, security jobs, and many others. This does not imply that it is impossible to get office or professional jobs, but considering that you have only 6 months or less to get the job, it might be more difficult to get other jobs. When you are on a visitor's visa to Canada, it is very easy to walk into some companies that offer these unskilled jobs and show your interest in the jobs. An interview could be conducted or scheduled, and if you are successful, you can begin work in a short while. However, it is also advisable that before you go in person, you have researched some of the jobs online and know those companies that have vacancies, their requirements, and all the necessary information for the job. You can also apply online for the jobs before visiting them in person to register your interest. Back to the point I made earlier that you do not need to have a family member or relative in Canada to be able to qualify for this visa. Also, you do not need to register for any conference or program in Canada to be able to secure a visitor's visa. Therefore, the question is, what reason can you then provide for wanting to visit Canada? The answer to that is tourism. Every individual has the right to visit Canada for tourism. You can apply for a visitor's visa to visit Canada with the purpose of exploring its natural beauty, its world-renowned landmarks, and its unique culture. Ontario is one of the provinces with a lot of tourist attractions that people from various parts of the world are known to visit. Even though you will not be visiting or staying in Ontario when the visa is granted due to the high job competition, in order to secure the visitor's visa, you have to state that you plan to visit Ontario for tourism. You must be able to state the places you plan to visit and why you plan to visit them. So, it will help to do research on these places before you submit your application. Some of the tourist attractions include Niagara Falls, Toronto CN Tower, Parliament Hill in Ottawa, Ontario's provincial and national parks, the Royal Ontario Museum, and many more. You will have to state your reason for applying for a visitor's visa in writing. This is often called a statement of purpose or explanation. You will state the various places you plan to visit, how long you plan to stay, and where you plan to stay. There will also be a need to provide evidence to support these facts. But keep in mind that the reason for choosing Ontario or any other province you choose is to get the visa. When you are issued the visa, you can choose to visit or spend the time in any province of your choice, and as I said earlier, searching for jobs in less populated or smaller and more remote provinces will produce better results. Now, let's look at who is eligible to apply for this visa. To be able to get a visitor's visa, you must meet some basic requirements, which include the following. 1. Have a valid travel document, like a passport. 2. Be in good health. 3. Have no criminal or immigration-related convictions. 4. Convince an immigration officer that you have ties, such as a job, home, financial assets, or family, that will take you back to your home country, even though you do not plan to return. 5. Convince an immigration officer that you will leave Canada at the end of your visit. 6. Have enough money for your stay. The amount of money you will need depends on how long you will stay and if you will stay in a hotel or with friends or relatives. 7. You may also need a medical exam and a letter of invitation from someone who lives in Canada if you are going to visit them. To be able to convince an immigration officer that you have ties, such as a job, home, financial assets, or family, that will take you back to your home country, you should be able to provide evidence. So, for example, if you work in your home country, you should be able to provide your employment letter as well as your salary slip for at least the last 4 to 6 months. You should provide any evidence to show that you have something meaningful and tangible you are doing in your home country that is enough to make you return after your visit. If you are married, you should also include that you have your family back home to return to. Some of the documents you will be required to provide for a tourist visa include the following. 1. An identity document, which should be your passport. 2. Travel history. If you've traveled to Canada or other countries, this can show that you've been able to get a visa in the past. Proof of this includes copies of previous visas in your passport. It will also be important to include any of your previous passports and/or visas used within the last 10 years to travel outside your country. Entry and exit stamps or study and/or work permits that indicate your duration outside of your country. Expired or valid visas. 3. Itinerary. You will also need to include documents that show how long you plan to stay and what you'll do in Canada. You will have to provide your flight details, hotel reservations, and registration for an event, if any. 4. Account statement. This can help them understand if you have enough money to support yourself during your stay in Canada. At least 6 months of account details, including balances, will help them understand your financial situation. This is not an exhaustive list of acceptable proof to support your visa application, but these are the main documents that are required if you plan to travel to Canada for tourism. However, it is important that you submit as many documents as you know can serve as evidence to support the purpose of your visit. If you are going to visit a family member, you will also be required to provide a letter of invitation. Other documents required depend on the individual circumstances. Having watched this video to this extent, I want to believe that you are interested in immigrating to Canada. Do not miss this opportunity. Take advantage of it today and immigrate to Canada. In another video, I will discuss the process of applying and more about how you can provide strong evidence to support your application. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, kindly like the video. Give it a thumbs up to encourage us to do more. If you have any questions or comments, you can type them in the description box of this video, and I will definitely get back to you soon. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so as to enjoy more of our upcoming videos. Also, hit your notification bell so as to be notified whenever we have a new upload. Thank you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.